What's up, guys? Our Wrestling Podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious along with Justin Total Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic, whatever happened to Ludvig Borga? For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. No more SoundCloud? Can't remember. Video.
You just go do what you want, Dave.
Okay, all right. We'll
tear
do
it down
too. Just for fun. For video, check us out on YouTube if we haven't been banned permanently from the live broadcast earlier. And you can also look to your left for several other video options. And please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2018 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast.
Where?
If you're dead. I don't know. They're there. I heard they were there. So, Ludvig. Every time I think Ludvig, I want to give a shout out to Derek. Ludvig Shoots.
Ludvig Shoots.
Yeah. Props to Ludvig Shoots.
Yeah, so he was a guy, and he was this heel that Vince wanted to be like the next, like Nikolai Volkov or Iron Sheik or whatever, and that's what he wanted to.
Right.
Because at the same time, he created the Made in America Lex Luger. This is 1993 we're talking about. In the WWF, we're going to talk about how Ludvig started before that. And he was a different Helm is his last name. Dave, you'll read him. But yeah, so like he was not very good. But at the same time, like we remember the WWF trying in 93 to create like this new villain, this foreign threat or whatever. And it did not work out. Mm-hmm. However, we're also doing this too because I want to release this around the same time that Dark Side of the Ring season 6. I don't know why I'm doing this because it seems like I'm landing a plane and it's taking off. And that's not what I'm doing. But Dark Side of the Ring season 6, one of them is Ludvig Borga, and it's going to cover him. So I want to release this at the same time.
Tony Christian Helm, born January 6, 1963, was a Finnish politician, athlete, author, actor, and singer. Oh. Got some chops. He was a member of the Finnish Parliament from 2003 to 2007 as an independent elected.
Stranger
Imagine
in the
watching
night.
Ludvig Borga at like a nightclub. Imagine Ludvig Borga as like a crooner with that face. No, thank you.
By the way, what reason why we're talking about it? He was also a professional wrestler, best known for his appearances with Catch Wrestling Association, that's CWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and World Wrestling Federation, WWF.
He breaks my streak.
What?
I cannot sing the song "All the Greatest Wrestlers Work in Japan" because they in fact do not.
Yeah,
Ludvig Borga was not good. Like so, I guess. Yeah, all good.
He was a mixed martial artist and the first fighter from the Nordic countries to ever compete in the Ultimate Fighting Championship in UFC.
Sure.
And a professional boxer who held the Finnish and the American heavyweight title.
Absolutely.
Wow. It's a lot of stuff going on there. He was trained by Vern Gagne. There's your problem. As a powerhouse professional wrestler. Sorry, that's not nice. He made his debut for Herb Abrams' Universal Wrestling Federation, UWF, October 29, 1990.
So right away he starts off with a bang.
The Viking.
Yeah, you want to be the Viking? You want to? Yeah. You're gonna. Yeah. We're gonna be better than WWF. We're gonna put them out of business. Yeah. You want to be a Viking? Okay, that's awesome. You want to kill people? You want to eat animals?
I'm gonna make you rich. We're gonna be rich. We're gonna be so rich.
Yeah. You're gonna be my number one guy. You're gonna be my number one guy. You're gonna be number one guy.
You guys have a lot of.
And making his debut this week is a man who calls himself the Viking. And this 315-pound behemoth from Helsinki, Finland, has vowed to meet, beat, and defeat any opponent from anywhere in the world and put him out. And I've seen this man do it. Bruno, look at this sight. The Viking from Helsinki, Finland. I gotta tell you, I've heard.
You guys have a lot of.
On October 25th of that same year, Helm made his debut for the Japanese promotion New Japan Pro Wrestling, defeating the Soul Taker that was billed as a boxer versus wrestler match
in New Japan.
Number one,
awesome. Yeah,
Ichiban.
Helm was brought in as an outsider and billed as a professional boxing champion, with his matches billed as.
They had such an infatuation with like Americans, like. A white male, whoo! Like they were just like New Japan's like, get on over here. Come on, Bigelow. Come on, Helm. Come on.
Come on, Hogan.
Dr. Death. Come on, Hulky. Come on,
Soul Taker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come on, Dan Spivey.
In 92, Helm was teamed in matches with Scott Norton, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Barry Windham.
I just said all those people.
November 22nd of that year, Helm and Norton won the IWGP Tag Team Championships from the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott. How about
Greatest
that?
wrestler of all time. Ludwig Borga. There you go.
Behind the scenes, he started having problems with Hawk Warrior and Scott Norton.
What?
It also
That is a
came
bad
out that-
three dudes to be to have a feud.
Right here, Dave, what you just said
Right.
is going to be like you're setting up the table for the rest of what you're going to read. You're going to be like, okay, so he wasn't really the best person. All right, then. And you're going to get to it.
Because he actually knocked Scott Norton out in a legitimate street fight. So some claim this is a result of a sucker punch by him, fearing that Norton would be looking for retribution. And New Japan Pro Wrestling officials took secret vote on what to do with the two.
Why?
And afterwards, Helm started losing matches more regularly and eventually left the promotion in June of the following year.
I don't think Helms are very good.
So this is fantastic to me. He did all this, and Vince is like, "Let's bring him on over."
Come on. I love a good shit disturber.
I hear he was a good guy over there. I didn't do any research, but I heard he was good.
Yeah, you fuck people up. I love fucking people. Like,
Again, the thing, brothers don't fight.
Did he not watch videotape? If you watch any videotape of him from UWF, like, you can tell he's a shitty wrestler. So Vince still watched that, and he's like, come on over.
I don't think he watched it.
Come on, sit on my lap.
He saw a photo. He looks good. Bring him over. Again, on Superstars, it aired on July 24th. He debuted in the World Wrestling Federation as Ludvig Borga, a heel Finn who appeared in a series of vignettes castigating the Americans for their perceived deficiencies on issues such as environmental laws and the education system.
And this is what's happening to America. It's crumbling. It's crumbling like this house. And this is what's going to happen to all the WWF American wrestlers who come in the ring with Ludvig Borga. They're going to be destroyed. So Americans, have a happy Labor Day and choke on it.
He's not
Let
wrong.
me talk about that.
He's not wrong, especially today.
The
Borga would be like,
education.
"See, I
Wait till you
told-
hear about his
I
views
told
later
you."
on, Dave. Let's.
They're gonna get bad, yeah. But that makes sense. Okay, Borga was immediately pushed to the main event status.
Maybe he
as
was
entered a feud.
way ahead of his time.
I doubt it. I think when we get down, it's gonna get worse.
Wait, what year are we recording this in?
I'd like
I
to
don't know.
introduce the new head of the United Nations, Ludvig Borga, Tony Halmy.
I heard he's amazing. He's the best Ludwig.
You're doing a great job.
He's the best Ludwig. Drives electric cars.
You know, Finland is beautiful.
So Borga gets into a feud with the top babyface Made in the USA Lex Luger on October 30th of 93 edition of Superstars. Borga ended Tatanka's undefeated streak. Ah, that's not nice. It was nearly 2 years dominating throughout their match and ultimately knocking him out with a steel chair while the referee was distracted by Mr. Fuji at ringside.
I mean,
Something has to happen. Come on. Stop. Look at this. His finger on Tatanka's chest. I can't believe it. One away for a win streak to come to an itty beating with one finger. Ludvig Borga. Officially victorious. I can't believe it. And Tatanka is still unconscious. One finger. What's Mr. Fuji doing here?
this is it's a rocket, right?
Okay,
Like,
so
this
here's
is
the deal. Let me.
Yeah.
Yes, Craig is correct. So when you're in the middle of the WWF machine, and in '93 we were in shock, right? Because like it had really fallen from like the late '80s or whatever in '93, but you still believed in the machine. The WWF machine, no matter what period, whether it's high and low, always fucking got behind. Whatever Vince is like, this is what we're backing, it's what they were backing. And like, they had the vignettes, they had all that stuff. Like Ludvig Borga on the surface when he came in.
They were gonna push him.
Looked like the next Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov. Like, it looked like it. So you're like, oh, and then Lex Luger, Made in America. That was his gimmick. I mean, you see it on the surface, like, okay.
How do they not collide? Right.
Yeah. This isn't far-fetched. This makes sense. Like when you see it.
Sure.
To be fair.
On the face of it at the time, but then you go, hindsight's a mean some bitch.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're experiencing, Craig, right? You're like, oh, it's so awful. At Survivor Series, Borga participated in the main event, teaming up with Yokozuna, Quebecer Jacques, and Crush as the Jacques
Rougeau.
Yep, and Crush as the Foreign Fanatics. Only Vince could think that up. against All Americans.
What does that even mean? Think of that team name, the Foreign Fanatics. I love foreign. Like, they're fanatics. Like, what is that? Oh my God, foreign people are the best. I'm so fanatical. Like, what does that even mean? The Foreign Fanatics.
I would have been happier with like Team Yoko. Just call it Team Yoko.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
Foreign Fanatics. We love foreigners. We're so fanatic. Like, what does that make any sense? Like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, we're crazy.
Borga and Luger were the final two remaining, and Borga was eliminated by
The Undertaker's an
like,
All-American. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious. With a running forearm smash because Luger just had that
USA.
that forearm.
That's the spot where Undertaker they needed a teammate, and like the whole thing was like they eliminated each other. Like they eliminated Pierre, and then they eliminated Tatanka. So Taker came out and he stood in the ring with them, and he opened up his coat, and it had an American flag like on the inside. And he was like, yes.
That's not real.
It is totally real, David. And I'll put a picture up right now of how real
From
this
sea to shining sea.
So yeah, it did, in a positive note, it did start the feud between Taker and Yokozuna, which minus Undertaker floating out of the building was actually a good feud. Because like Yoko was the big unstoppable force, right? And then you had Undertaker who was not alive. So
You're not American like me.
I love this country. Oh, he's certainly like that now in his podcast, though. Dun, 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 dun. So I mean, he always has been.
I was born and died in the USA.
Brother, you got me, brother. I'm still laughing. He still makes fun of it. You got me, brother.
You got me, brother. So he's right on that. Whatever. Fuck Undertaker, but he's right. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. On January 17th, 94, Helm injured his ankle in a match with Rick Steiner, forcing the WWF to cancel future plans
Hurts his ankle.
for the Borga character that included a scheduled appearance in the 94 Rumble and proposed WrestleMania 10 to the match against Earthquake. Wow. Helm left the company soon after.
Do you know who, real quick, do you know who ended up taking on Earthquake at WrestleMania 10? Quiz, come on.
Talk about-
You can do it. Adam Bomb.
Oh my gosh, really?
And Earthquake beat him in like 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be, if you think about it, yeah, like even though he lost to Luger, he was supposed to have a good showing at the Royal Rumble and then get in a match with Earthquake at WrestleMania. But it did not happen because he hurt his ankle. And afterwards, it kind of falls apart pretty quick here. Dave is going to escalate really fast.
He wrestled as Borga for Catch Wrestling Association, the CWA 95, on December 20th of that year.
And by the way,
won the World
not to
Heavyweight
interrupt you again,
Championship.
but Vince does not just dump you. So it's not like it's not like he hurt his ankle and Vince is like, get him out of here. It was the whole not working out. And then he hurt his ankle, and Vince is like, and perfect excuse. It's a perfect excuse to get him the fuck out of here. Like, yeah. So it was a very swift exit.
I wonder if it was done by FedEx or not.
No, Vince, I'm sure it's just like he did this. He didn't say anything. He just goes, and Ludwig's like, I'm out, and he's like, yes, you're out. Yeah.
Get out of here.
You suck.
But Ludwig won the World Heavyweight Championship at CWA and defeated Rambo.
Oh yeah,
at the '95 Euro Catch Festival. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, yeah. It's a festival. It sounds probably.
Are you talking about Euro
Borga
Catch?
held that title for over a year, including
What?
major title defenses against
He's the greatest of all time.
Smizzle. Wow, at the Euro Catch Festival in July. After retiring from professional wrestling in '97, he went on to fight in the Rings and Ultimate Fighting Championships, though without really that much success. He had a 56-second submission loss to Randy Couture.
I have not
UFC
seen this. I
13.
would love to see this.
I need to maybe I can actually. No, I can't play it because it's UFC footage. So Dana White will be on YouTube.
We can act it out with puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's probably how the real fight went, to be honest.
Wow. Yeah. So Ludwig had a Gustafel tattoo on his calf. It was made to put tape over the tattoo.
And that is so to your point, that symbol is it's a symbol of an army that acted under Hitler, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So that was a Hitler symbol. That he had, and he had to cover it in WWF, which is a good call.
Lot of red flags before you even brought him in. I don't get it, but you brought him in anyway.
But his singing voice.
Yeah, but his singing voice and his politics, even though Dave's going to get into it.
It's going to get bad. During his years in the U.S., Helm was convicted of firearm offenses in the 90s.
Fair enough.
In February of 99, he was in the San Pedro Detention Center in Los Angeles for 2 weeks before he was deported from the U.S.
Fair enough. Okay.
And then we're going to fast forward to 2003, July 4th. A handgun was fired inside the apartment of Helms, and
Fair enough.
no one was injured, but a gun was unlicensed. So he subsequently hospitalized as he only had days before being in a boxing match. It was using prescription painkillers, but his blood had accidentally contained trace amounts of amphetamines. Wow, he's doing it all. While a police search of his House of Parliament offices turned up illegal steroids. How much more can we pile on top of this?
No, I mean, it all makes sense. It's fair enough. Like, fair enough, I think, covers all of this. Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. But he claimed that someone put amphetamines into his drink.
Yes.
without his knowledge.
Hilarious. So I want to stop you right there. He's innocent, and everyone just did all this to me. It's all somebody else.
Yeah, I'm not responsible.
All of these things that you just said, they put a gun in my hand, they shove steroids in my butthole, and then they put a gun in my hand, and then they put all these other drugs up my butthole, and then like I woke up and I'm like, what? And then they just they framed
July
him for all of
it. His trial was broadcast live on television by MTV3 digital television channel. That's
what does that even mean?
That's like
basically
the-
you're
you know
put
the
on
old
the
Saturday-
internet live.
The old Saturday Night Live, like Sprockets. It was probably that network.
Yeah, it was-
the Sprockets network. And
Jesus.
sorry, that
It's like
I don't mean to
the
throw all
Ocho.
That's great.
Nordic people into that Sprockets
great.
thing, and I love Sprockets was Germany, but
Now it's the time where we dance, and Ludwig gets up and
welcome to
dances.
the trial of Tony Hall.
Gets even better here. In March of 2006, Helm was involuntarily committed to a mental
Why
hospital.
did you have a gun, Tony?
Because you
Now
have
is the
delirium
time where we
caused by
dance,
excessive alcohol
Helm.
use there,
Oh shit!
Helm.
What happened?
So earlier, he was committed to a mental hospital because of excessive alcohol abuse. He was
Well,
having delirium.
It was all planted. It was not him. Somebody else.
Yeah, he was already diagnosed earlier that year with
Put it in his
alcohol-related
butthole.
cirrhosis and acute
Damn.
pancreatitis. And after spending almost the entire year on sick leave, he went on disability pension at the end of parliamentary term.
Fair enough.
On January 8th of 2010, 2 days after his 47th birthday, he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound
Fair
from
enough.
another unlicensed handgun.
That's fair enough.
God,
His body was found 2 days
that is
later.
kind of tragic. Jeez.
I mean, okay.
Short-term memory loss, cirrhosis, and then just offed himself with a wow.
He didn't like to register.
47?
those weapons either.
Younger than
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
He's what?
Yep.
Don't fucking give away my age, Craig. That's horrible.
Oh, sorry. To whoever put amphetamines in his drink, shame on
Yeah,
you.
and who killed him? I should probably
Shame
say
on
that.
Dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I never. Again,
I
the
do know,
highlight
Dave.
of
It's all
of
bullshit.
Ludwig
He was
is-
he was a bad troublemaker person. I do know.
Our friend Derek played the Ludvig Borga character better than Ludwig
Derek
Borga
did not know that this guy was this piece of shit. By the way, we just get,
No, but
to
I'm
be
telling
fair.
you, Derek did a good job.
He did.
He was impressive. You know,
This is
played the
back in
character quite
93,
well.
94 that we just were copying a character from WWF television. We did not know the troublemaker piece of shit this guy would be.
Yeah, we didn't know what this was going to turn out to be. So it
But
was
Derek did get a tattoo of Hitler's army on his calf,
No,
which
he
I
did
thought
not.
was out of line
not true.
for the.
Again, we didn't know any of that stuff. We didn't know why he had a cover on his calf every time he wrestled. We didn't know.
Derek or Ludwig?
By the way, if you had something on your calf, why wouldn't you just wear boots and knee pads to cover?
Well, I
it? Why
told
do you-
Derek that. I was like, wear boots.
Yeah,
bitch.
I was
Don't-
like, man,
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is like, do you know what that means? It's like,
We're just kidding, Derek. I love you.
Yeah,
we're gonna send this to him.
he's a listener of the podcast.
He probably is not.
Avid listener. No, probably not. We should bring him on. Say, hey man, remember Ludwig shoots?
Remember your tattoo?
Yeah.
Remember your tattoo?
What do you mean? I did not get a tattoo, Jess. Did not. It didn't happen. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
think immigration's a big problem.
you know,
these days.
it's so crazy. I don't know. We at the recording of this, we don't know how Darkseid's going to portray him, but the name Darkseid tells me that they're going to dig up. They're going to dig up way more than we're saying right now, or whatever, and
Yeah.
probably reveal that he's a piece of shit. Now, if they do reveal that he was actually a great Samaritan and he was all set up, I don't know what to
Tony
say.
always had demons.
You'll
I
never
always felt Tony
see this
had-
episode if they portray him as like the greatest. But again, the name Dark Side of the Ring shows me
Yeah.
that they're probably going to be worse than what we are right now.
gonna
They're
be-
going to really
it's gonna be
expose
pretty dark.
what a pile
Watch,
of
he
shit
has
this
like
guy
the
was.
second most Make-A-Wish visits to John Cena. Ludwig Borga does.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It might happen, Dave. You don't know.
What's the matter, kid? You sick?
Stand up. I came from Finland. You don't lay down.
You look like you made a nice Aryan stock. That's good. That's good.
Good. Stand up.
Good.
You have some use.
It's terrible.
Punch him in the stomach. Come on.
I remember the stupid stomach blows. I remember that.
Punch me in the stomach. Feel this.
terrible.
It feels like a brick wall, no?
For audio
Good luck
fans,
with
give us
your
a listen on
dying or
Apple, Spotify,
whatever.
and
I
iHeartRadio.
win, Dave. We may or may not can't cut that last part out. I don't know.
Yeah, we might.
I'll have to listen
For
to that.
video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel, and look to your left for several other video options. And please give us a follow on Instagram.
Wait, could you please go down his championships? Thank you.
I'm looking to my left,
What?
Dave. I see my wall. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we didn't touch on actually is that we saw him in a couple of movies. He played he was in Lionheart.
He was
and,
in Die Hard 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is not in his discography, but there's no way that was not him, right? We
was him.
We spent a lot of time. That
Yes,
was him.
that was him.
Yeah, that's him.
Is it not in his discography? That's bullshit.
No, it was. Sorry, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, man. For the O.W.P, this is Dave, Justin, Craig signing off. Have a good one.
Fuck you,
Bloody
Ludwig.
Ludwig.
Oh.
Jesus, dude.